Our first guest on this Christmas edition of Restoring Hope with Crosswinds Counseling is Kerry Carmichael. She is the Executive Director of the Refuge, a faith-based nonprofit. Kerry, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the Refuge for those that might not know the incredible work that you're doing in this community.
So we are a faith-based organization that our purpose and our goal is just to be a place where people can come when they need help. And sometimes that's a physical need where they need food or they need shelter, or they need resources to get through to the next day. Sometimes they come in the door and they just need someone to pray with them and just care about them and know kind of what they're going through and have the time to be able to spend with them. And then other times it's academically where we want to help with the kids in the community and partner with the schools to be able to be a resource. So many different aspects of it, but just to be a place where people can come when they need someone.
You've been with the organization for about 14, 15 years. About 6 years ago, you transitioned into the executive director role. What was that transition like for you as you started to take the lead of doing this amazing work?
So our founder, Tom Hord, great man, he had a vision to have a facility that was open to anybody and everybody. And he and his family moved to Florida. So the current board at that time asked for me to step in and just start taking leadership. So we just kept going with the vision, kept going with what the needs were each year, adapting to what we saw the community needed. And just having great volunteers, great community and businesses, and just trying to grow the awareness of what the needs are right in our community and building those partnerships around us.
When you talk about needs and adapting, I suspect during your 14, 15 years with the organization, you have seen the need for mental health services going through the roof. We all have. From the Refuge viewpoint and standpoint, what does that look like? When you help someone in need of mental health services, how do you guys do that? How do you come alongside them and love them through that?
So a lot of times when an individual walks through a door for the first time, it could be either an elderly couple that just can't make ends meet. It could be a single mom that never ever thought she'd ever have to walk through a pantry door and ask for help. But what we're seeing more and more is that individuals, families that just need to know that somebody cares. And they've gotten so low in the situation that they're in that they don't see the hope. So our goal is to spend time with every single person when they walk in the door and just share the amount of time that they want. It might be 5 minutes and they just want to be able to get their food and get back to their family. But it might mean just spending some alone time and hearing what they're going through and kind of figuring out what the root is, what the root need is for that family. And having the resources and the partnerships with other organizations to get them, if it's not just those few moments with them and they need more long-term help, to be able to get them connected for that.
You mentioned partnerships. I know you have one with Crosswinds Counseling. What has that partnership meant to the Refuge?
What was great about the partnership is knowing what their mission is and knowing that it's Christ-centered, but being able to give an individual some long-term resources that if they're in need of more than what we individually are equipped to do, that we have them to be able to refer individuals to be able to get that long-term care.
Tell me about the pandemic, Kerry. What has the impact been on the people that you serve? What does it look like today versus what it looked like 2 years ago?
So adaption is a big word that we use, and I think probably our city and our state and our country has felt that, but being able to adapt to what is going on right now. So if we're in a specific color code based on the spread, being able to adapt and wear masks or be safe and having the resources where people can still come and get it. It may not be as much food right now because they're getting additional resources and help from the government, but it might mean still being open, having our doors open for people to come in and talk to, or even call. A lot of times people will call and say, I just don't feel safe yet getting out, but we still need someone to pray with us. We still need someone to know that there's a need. So if it's driving and delivering those items that the people need, then that's what we want to be able to do.
And what about the volume of work? How has that changed during the pandemic as well? Have you seen so many more people in need over this last year and a half?
We've seen more people in need of the mental and the social skills, the social aspect. They're getting additional resources, whether it be from the stimulus money or extra funding given to them with unemployment, but they still need the connection. They need people, and with having things shut down and things not open, they're finding they need that community somewhere. So, it's different. It wasn't what I think a lot of organizations thought it would be. We really thought our doors would just be swamped with people in need of financial help. And now we're seeing, as we're coming kind of out of the shutdown mode, people needing help getting caught back up. So that financial help is stepping in now.
We're just 2 days from Christmas. This is a season where a lot of folks are typically more generous. To people who might be watching tonight who are thinking, how can I help? What can I do to come alongside the Refuge? What would you say are some of your biggest needs from the community, and how can people get involved?
So we just finished our toy drive, and we were able to help over 100 children.
Awesome.
With Christmas. So that was amazing to be able to do because of the generosity that people have extended. But moving into January, we're going to be starting back our after-school program where kids are brought to us that the schools identified their biggest needs. So we do need some additional volunteers to see that project through at 100%. But financially, prayers, resources, a lot of times we find that our partnerships start with somebody that knew somebody. So it may not be that one individual being able to give generously themselves, but they know somebody that can help and partner with us. So those are amazing connections.
Yeah, it's so powerful to see relationships yield those kinds of results.
Yes, sir.
Kerry, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.
Kerry Carmichael, the Executive Director of the Refuge. We'll be right back.